Okay, folks, here's a cleaning tip for you. When I run all week, especially hats, you can see I got this machine set up for hats. It gets quite dirty down in the bobbin area. So what you need is one of these kind of devices. This is a screwdriver. It's got two flat heads on each end. You at least need one of these with a regular flathead. Probably got one with your machine, but you can pick it up at Lowe's or Home Depot or someplace like that too. Anyway, get in here, and what you want to try to do is not strip the slot out of the top of the screw. So make sure you put it in there nice and firm. And I kind of put my finger on top of that part and push down, and you can kind of spin it around about a half a turn. Now once you got it loose, you can kind of spin it with your thumb there, as you can see, and try not to drop it. It's a very small screw, and I just set it right over onto the side of the machine so it's real accessible. Same thing with this. You gotta try to get that loose right there, about a half a turn, and yeah, come on. Yeah, right. Okay, a little more. There we go. Now, we can loosen that right up. Again, grab that out. I just set them both right on the side of the machine. Pull up this needle plate right here, and you'll be able to see that there's some dirt under there, and just so you can kind of see all the fuzz and the length that you can kind of get there. There's quite a bit in there. So again, with the trusty Q-tip here, and the obvious stuff is like right here on top, as you can see, and getting that big old hunk of dirt out of there. And what you're trying to do is just get all that loose major stuff out of there before you go any further. Right off the top here, it's real easy to see. And this is your trimming device right here, your two blades. There's two blades. The one moves and the one stays stationary. The stationary one is the smaller one. And threads get back up in there. You can see I got like some little threads on there from where it trims it. Again, you'll probably need more than one Q-tip, so keep a couple there right next to your machine. And then as soon as you think you got that looking pretty good, you're going to grab the hand wheel on the side of the machine and then start to spin it. So you can see the bobbin, the bobbin's moving around there. There's the fork thing I told you about earlier. I try to, again, pinch this to make it flat. And then you can kind of just, it's real easy to do here because you can see it. Just slide it right under there and try to get any dirt out of there that you can. You can see that big hunk of dirt just come out of there. Now also, try to get a little bit better view for you. You can see that in this area right here, in this area right in here, there's a lot of dirt that accumulates. And it's, that's where the bobbin's spinning around, so it's dropping a lot of dirt in there, especially, again, if you're running hats. So you got to kind of work the Q-tip and the hand wheel to get all that, to try to get as loose as you can off. This is the end of the bobbin reel. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me see if I can point that out. But right there, that little piece right here is the end of the bobbin rail. And the beginning of the bobbin rail, I don't know if you can see it, is over down here, right there. It's like a little tapered tip. But that's where the bobbin reel starts, so it doesn't go all the way around. But that's where you need to keep the oil on. Now, again, we just want to make sure it's clean. There's two very small indentations right there. As you can see, two little round circles right there. Dirt likes to lay in those. Make sure you get that dirt out of there too. Now, when you get down to these smaller areas, you can use your trusty, use the trusty blow off that I have, just regular duster. And this one's almost empty, but you can try to get in these tighter areas, and them little holes right there, with a little bit of air, they open right up. You might be able to see some of the dirt flying out of there. Again, keep the Q-tips handy, so if you see heavy dirt moving around, you can get in there and swab it out. Okay? Then, I always take the bobbin out, lay it off to the side as well. And in here, hold on, let's see if I can get that. in here, if you spin this bobbin around, you'll see that there's some dirt that's laying in this track right here. It will. And on this little area right here. It doesn't look like it, but as you can see, there it is. I just got it. So anytime you can get that dirt off of this area, anywhere where you can see that, and there's little grooves in this bobbin rail that go around that help the oil hang on. And you can see there's just little pieces of dirt in there. Try to get all that super clean back in there. There's some other grooves. Take a few moments and get it right. And then we'll blow it out one last time here, kind of try to get that out of there. Anything we can. Yep, that's looking pretty good. We'll swab the presser foot too. It gets a lot of dirt, whoops, on these presser feet right here. As you can see, there's lots of dirt up in there. And you do this once a week too. It keeps your machine running better. But just on this number 2, which is my white, you can see how much dirt is coming off up under there, both ends. You know, a lot of fuzz, a lot of lint. So anyway, wind that back up. Doesn't really matter where you leave it. I got my bobbin casing here. Find the end of the thread. It's there somewhere. Let's pull it out and redo it. Again, you have your bobbin case in your hand with the handle, the pigtails at the top. Drop the bobbin in. Just pull it a little bit. And what you're trying to do is find that groove. And when you do that, it goes underneath the spring right here. There's a little, and dirt gets trapped underneath it here too. There's a little spring. You have to lift that up. Take a straight pin or some high compressed air and try to blow the dirt out from underneath that, because when dirt gets under there, it lifts the spring up and it makes your bobbin run loose because the spring tension is not accurate. You know, there's something's holding that spring up. So make sure you keep that clean. And the when you pull the thread, the bobbin should spin the opposite way. I don't know if you can see that or not. Anyway, put that in back there with the handle, snap it in, trim off the excess. Some people would like to put the oil on right now. I'm not going to run the machine, so I'll just oil it on first thing in the morning when I get ready to do it. But the last step is to reinsert or reattach the needle plate there and lay that on. And put the screws back in. So just, again, be very careful, but do one at a time and just kind of grab it, put it in there, and you can kind of start it by spinning it around to get it down there as far as you can. Do the next one. All right, and put that in there. And take your handy dandy right angle 90-degree screwdriver and snug those babies up. You don't need to overly tighten them, but obviously you don't want them working loose. All right, like so. One more. And there you have it. Yeah, that's tight. And it all looks good. Last thing I would do is run the machine down manually, make sure that the needle is lined up correctly, and you can see it pulled the bobbin thread right up through, so that's great. And there you go. So clean that thing up and it'll run real good for you. Thank you.